welcome to this Fantasy Football Cup semi-final draw sponsored by Farm Foods, the frozen food specialist. Okay, my name is Tom Brookman. I'll be doing the draw tonight. What we'll see, start with, we'll have a look through the semi-finalist journey so far. Okay, they're four big teams. They're key fantasy football players. They're all in the top 8 of the Cash League, so they're all very, very consistent. So maybe that is the thing with the Cup, that the consistent teams are the ones that do progress. After that, we're going to go over to the Bookies Corner, hear from the odds of some of the teams, and then finally we're going to see the draw itself, followed by the fixture analysis for those Cup weeks. Okay, so let's skip on to the semi-finalist journey so far. We're going to start with ball number 1, who is Kev Tuffy. Now, as you can see here, Kev Tuffy came through the group stages with a huge points difference of plus 56, 4 wins, 2 losses, so he is beatable. He had the biggest winning margin in the quarterfinals. He absolutely destroyed his own son there, 141 to 119, and he has a Cup game week average of 63 points, joint highest of the semi-finalists. Okay, so going on to Kev Tuffy. So I've got a quote here. He says, "Well, I'm just happy that I've been able to ditch the biggest mistake of my life. Fernandinho, that is, not James." Harsh words there from Kev. I'm sure words will be had in the Tuffy household there about that. James won't be happy with his haircut and also with what his dad said there. Okay, fighting talk from Kev. So again, if we go back, you can see here, came through the same group with Ben, Hugh, and Mark. So, I mean, he's knocked out some of the big names in the competition here. So he's definitely going to be a threat. And he is ball number 1 in the draw. Okay, ball number 2 is Andy Beasley. Now, he's widely considered to be the guru by many. I know a lot of the younger people in the group look up to him. You can see there, he's got his crown on in this picture. He's posing. He knows he is fantasy football Don. He came through a group in 2nd place, actually. Now, that caught a lot of people by surprise. Actually let the bookies cash in a lot of money. And he scraped through with a points difference of plus 18. But we're all thankful, Andy and Matt, that Ash is no longer in the competition. You can see Andy won the semi-final by 10 points over Hayden. And he's got a Cup game week average of 58. So on average, he scores 5 points lower than the joint highest people. And Andy's actually the lowest average point score of any of the semi-finalists. So something to bear in mind there. Maybe he needs to up his game. So he's ball number 2. We spoke to Andy, and he says he feels his team is starting to gel just at the right time of the season. He's got some tough weeks ahead, but I think we have a cracking chance. Results are picking up after a rocky start, so I have every confidence in my team. So Andy really feels that form's with him. Definitely a case of form over fixtures for him, and he's going to be a tough opponent for whoever pulls ball number 2 out of the hat. Now, ball number 3 is Matt. Now, Matt currently sits 5th in the Cash League, so he's a strong performer. He came through again. He topped the group with Andy Beasley in it, so he's already toppled one of the Titans, but he'll need to do it again. If he's to win the Cup, possibly, because all 3 of these people are Titans in the fantasy football world. Matt, high points difference there, and you can see his Cup game week average is 60 points. So he is in joint. He is in 3rd place behind the 2 people with an average of 63, Spencer and Kev, but he is above Andy. So, I mean, Andy against Matt could be a low-scoring affair, and they're both very cautious managers. Now, Matt says, based on where I am in the league against others and the fact Andy beat me home and away in the group, I have to be the outsider. Very lucky to go through with the 3rd lowest score in the quarter. So, yeah, that is an interesting point there. It feels bad for the likes of Gerish, who missed out with a much higher total. So that really is the magic of the Cup and the luck of the fixtures there. But he can't see himself in the final. Now, that is sad, considering this young man, he's fought through, he's defeated some big opponents, but he just can't see himself there. So confidence is a real issue in the team, much like the team he supports him in at Arsenal. They're having a bit of a crisis of confidence, but they always rely on the Cup. So is that the case for Matt? Now, ball number 4 is Spencer. I've labelled him the Invincible because he's yet to be beaten. As you can see, didn't lose in the group stages. He's come through a tough tie with Ben over 2 legs. Strong points difference in the group stages there. 5 wins in the draw. Gerish very, very unlucky. But again, he missed out by 4 points despite being the third high score. Now Spencer, Cup game week average of 63, so joint highest. It's interesting that Kev and Spencer, both first and fourth in the league respectively, have the same average for Cup game weeks. Does that say that they've maybe got a very, very similar team? So if they come up against each other, it could be just one or two people that make the difference. So let's see what happens with that. Now, Spencer said it feels like the previous round was like the Liverpool City game, far too tense at the end. I'm expecting more of the same though next round. Kev has the ability to knock out some big scores, and he's a very calculating and purposeful fantasy football player. And Matt is just pure dirt. Fighting talk there. Perhaps the finalists will be the ones who take the points hits and are happy to sacrifice their league position. Now, to me, reading into that says that maybe Spencer is more focused on the cash league and he might well put out reserve teams for the cup. Who knows? But he could be a good person to come up against because he has got one eye on the big title. Now, like I said earlier, over to the title odds from Coley's Corner. As we can see there, please gamble responsibly, and odds are correct at the time of publishing. So we've got best odds guaranteed there from the man himself, MJ Coley. Okay, so the outright title odds, we've got Spencer ranked at 11 to 10 on. So odds on favourite Spencer, due to strong performances, due to that average game week, due to the fact he's unbeaten, has to be considered the favourite. Kev Tuffy 6 to 4. So again, just marginally ahead of Andy at 2 to 1. Matt's 5 to 2, and odds of Ash winning the tournament are 0 because thankfully he is no longer in it. Okay, we've got some specials. So Andy to win both legs 5 to 1. There might be some money on that depending on the draw. Triple figure score by one of the semi-finalists in either leg. Now we haven't seen a triple figure score in the cup yet, so that would be a first. That's 12 to 1. And Matt to lose both legs by 30 plus points. So to take a real drubbing, he is the lowest point scorer. That's 8 to 1. And I'm sure we'll see Garish and Miller putting some money on that. Now, we've heard enough from me. Over to the main event. But first, we've got some words from our sponsor.
At Farm Foods, smoked haddock is just £2.95. A kilo of mashed potato, just £1. Black beef also just £1. And cauliflower, just £100.
God, I hate this shit. The state of that. Okay, so thanks to our kind sponsors there. Now the main event is the draw. We will go live to my dining room now for the draw. Hello. Again, just to recap, ball number 1, Kev, currently 4th in the league. Andy, ball number 2, 8th in the league. Matt, ball number 3, 5th in the league. And Spencer, 1st in the league, but ball number 4. He is the lowest winning margin of any of the managers in this. So we'll start the first ball after that at home in the first semi-final is ball number 3, Matt Cole. So he will be happy with the home draw. Hope to build a nice league before he goes away in the second leg, and he will host ball number 1. So Matt against Kev. Huge tie there. I'll be interested to find out what Matt thinks about that. And that leaves the 2, Andy and Spencer, who will be at home. It's ball number 2. Andy is at home first. 2 should be ball number 4, Spencer. So just a quick recap. We've got Matt Cole hosting Kev Tuffy in the first game and hosting Spencer in the second fixture. So let's go over, do some fixture analysis now. And we've got the first leg will be played in game week 26. And you can see here, I've identified some of the key fixtures. I think City's trip to Burnley won't be easy, although Burnley have been leaking goals of late. A lot of City players knocking around in the league. Could that be a low scoring game for them? Manchester United very popular with the defenders. Looks to be a nailed-on clean sheet there, home to Huddersfield. And then the 5:30 kickoff that day is Arsenal-Everton. Now, again, that will be a tough fixture. It's worth mentioning, though, the curse of the 12:30 captain, with a lot of Sterlings, a lot of De Bruynes, a lot of Agueros knocking around, could come into play there. Super Sunday sees Liverpool entertain Tottenham. Now, Liverpool and Spurs, two very popular fantasy football teams amongst the top managers, maybe a bit of a template forming in our league. Salah, Kane, Firmino, Son, Eriksen, to name but a few. I'm sure some will have Oxlade-Chamberlain in there by now as well. And then Monday Night Football, again, that could decide the first legs. Watford at home to Chelsea. Chelsea have been struggling of late. Will they have 2-metre Peter in the squad by then? Who knows? I dread to think what will happen there. And then the second fixtures, game week 32. So there's 6 weeks between the fixtures, and you can see these ones haven't even been selected for television yet. Chelsea Spurs, though, looks like it could potentially be moved to the Super Sunday, along with Everton Manchester City. Those are the two standout fixtures there. Again, a lot of key players involved. So City, Burnley away and Everton away. Two of the stingiest defences, and Everton, in fact, one of the only teams to hold City in the league this season. I'm sure Allardyce is already reversing the bus for that one. And you can see tricky tie for Liverpool as well. The Roy Hodgson derby sees them travel to Palace. Again, the scene of many Liverpudlian tears is Selhurst Park when they threw it away after being 3-0 up under Rodgers, chasing more goals, but they let it slip through their clutches. And again, United home to Swansea. So United home to Huddersfield in 26 and home to Swansea in 32 surely has clean sheets written all over it. Now, I'll leave you to fish through the other fixtures and look for some points. But yeah, essentially, that has been the Fantasy Football Cup draw. I have been Tom Brookman-Skiro. Good luck and God bless. Thank you.